this week on a Bubble Chat.
I think that, like any other part of the population, there's outstanding people who are celebrities, and then there's scum of the earth and everything in between.
Again, it's a picture that she took when she was 15 that she reposted 10 years later or whatever it was.
Maybe a Tom Cruise might choose not to, have a small role, because he's a leading man.
Beyonce fans who knew every single word, every single concept, they knew everything.
Mike Will made it. He must have liked it.
Mike Will made it.
That ain't none of my business. Ain't none of my business and none of my concern.
Yeah, but you're right. When you want young people.
When you want young and you get young minds. Point blank, period. And when they marry you, they want money.
Basically. But she got her own money. She got that Game of Thrones money.
She got Game of Thrones money, but she still don't want no broke nigga.
That's true.
So she went to the guy. But at the end of the day, who wanted to settle down? Because a lot of times girls want to settle down, but guys their age don't want to. They want to run the street.
Guy.
Oh, definitely.
I just press recorded. I then recorded.
We got you. We understand.
Yeah, we just talking that. We talking that shit. Okay.
We got you.
We can do the introduction. We ready. Welcome, lovely listeners, to a very special episode of the Bubble Chat. Whether you're sipping your morning coffee or eating, tackling the morning traffic, or simply winding down after a long day, the Bubble Chat is here to accompany you with interesting discussions and a touch of laughter. Today's episode is a special one because we are absolutely thrilled to be celebrating the 1-year anniversary of the Bubble Chat. It's been a year?
Yeah.
With all
year. Well,
time for me to step my game.
Yeah, it just feels like the day before when I was getting ready to start my first episode of the podcast. I mean, time does fly when you're having fun, and as Eddie said, being unprofessional, being a foolery, and all that stuff. And speaking of fun, the Bubble Chat is all about creating a cozy and engaging space where we dive into a wide range of topics, trends, and conversations, whether that's commuting or just starting your day. And before I do, I do want to read this letter for getting you to hopefully inspired me to do a podcast. I'm going to leave all of the social media so in the description so you can check that out if you want to. Dear Jimmy, I want to take a moment to sit and give a heartfelt shout out and express my deepest gratitude in the midst of the chaos that was 2020. Your presence on TikTok, Instagram, and your podcast, Good Time Be Jimmy, which is the podcast that I canceled a year ago. And also a link to that if you're still listening. Were like rays of sunshine cutting through the clouds. Your content became such a source of solace and inspiration during those challenging times. Listening to your podcast became a cherished routine, offering not only entertainment, but also valuable insight and perspective. Fast forward 3 years later, and I'm celebrating the first anniversary of my podcast, The Bubble Chat. Here's to you, Jamie, a podcast mentor, an inspiration, and a beacon of positivity. Thank you for sharing your wisdom, your passion, and your journey. Your impact has reached farther than you might imagine, and I'm just one of many who owe a debt of gratitude for your contribution to be my podcast mentor. Wishing you all the best in your continued endeavors and looking forward to many more good times ahead. You love always, Joe.
That was nice. Did he respond yet?
No, the Zoom's still recording. So I have to schedule it. So I have to schedule the show and then release it and then probably have I wanted to be friends with him.
That's nice. He's about to see what foolishness he has.
You,
I love your braids, Eve. Yeah, I still working back.
Lord,
working
it's
with-
part of the head done. You say it's only like maybe
What?
like a
What? What? Oh, I
like an eighth of the
Right,
head
look.
done.
what?
Oh,
Lemonade. They look like lemonade braids with that hat on. I thought it was Prince braided like that. Hat. Hat. Let me tell you something. Oh God, Jesus help me. I'm about to curse. Lord, help me. I want
oh, no. You better read.
No, it's my turn to read.
Yeah, it's your turn.
Let me see if this took y'all falling for it. As we celebrate this 1 year milestone, we want to take a moment to thank all the bubblers for taking the time to listen to us, sharing your thoughts, and for being part of our Bubble Chat family. We could have actually reached this point without your support, because whether you support us or not, we're going to do the podcast. But the fact that you do listen and enjoy us, it's a deep down into my uterus that's all dried up. We want to send you a big thank you. Your part, Ruben.
Oh, wow.
My uterus is dried up.
Well, we didn't need to know all that. So, whether you've been with us,
Those eggs and raisins right about now.
whether you've been with us from the very beginning or you just started
I have any
joining us,
baby.
I hope you continue to join us. Even with dried up uteruses, talk and all that stuff. Thank you for listening to us over this past year. Hopefully you enjoyed our discussions and we brought to life some of these discussions, and we can't wait to continue talking about this mess that we talk about. That being said, it's time to bubble chat.
time for pep talk. Let's go. Let's see.
Why do we say pop talk when we are bubble chat? You should keep it consistent.
With this Batman, Uncle Ruben.
We should keep it consistent.
Look,
with bubble chat instead of pop talk, man.
Well, you set on me.
okay, well, let me say this. Joanne,
Mhm.
oh, the Nick Carter talk.
Will do. Well, to kick off our pop talk segment or bubble chat segment or whatever it is you want to call it, we'll be delving into the role of Nick Carter. For those of our listeners who might not be familiar, Nick Carter gained prominence, a member of the renowned boy band Backstreet Boy. He's also related to the late Aaron Carter he was also related to the late Aaron Carter and the late Leslie Carter. Recently, Nick Carter had entered the legal.
Who's Leslie?
Leslie was
His mom, I guess.
sister.
That's the way.
Sister?
Yeah.
Oh, sister. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
she actually passed away years ago.
Yeah, rest in peace.
Anyway, Nick Carter had entered the legal spotlight by filing a countersuit against former King Pop star Melissa Schumann. Schumann had previously accused him of sexually assaulting her in his Santa Monica apartment back in 2003. As indicated by court documents previously obtained by People, Carter contends that Schumann and Shannon Root exploited the #MeToo movement as part of a 5-year scheme to tarnish his reputation gain attention, and potentially extract money from it. The legal paper alleged that Carter compelled Ruth into performing sex on him in the bathroom and further asserted that he continued to engage in sexual assault afterwards. According to Carter's attorney at the time, Michael Holtz, these accusations are not only devoid of legal basis but also completely untrue. Guys, how do you think the intersection of the hashtag Me Too movement and legal battles can impact the perception of celebrity like Nick Carter?
Well, I really don't have I know who he is. He'll never know who I am. I don't exist in his world. But I think that like any other part of the population, there's outstanding people who are celebrities, and then there's scum of the earth and everything in between. So there's going to be, and then sometimes when you're a celebrity, I'm not saying this applies to Nick Carter. This is just my general opinion. Sometimes there's a lot of ego involved, and you almost become like God-like or like a demigod, where people are throwing, various things at you, and you become intoxicated by it. And sometimes you think that you're entitled to it. So I'll give you an example. Some people would think if they have a whole lot of people throwing themselves at them sexually or romantically, they would think that they were entitled to have anybody they wanted, and they might not listen to the word no. So, I wasn't there, so I don't know what he did or didn't do. I'm going to say this. Yes, innocent people deny false accusations, but also so do guilty people. And as far as the intersection, there's a lot of people who have allegations against them, and they still go on to have successful movies and music careers. And for some reason, people still want to deal with them for whatever the reason. And, it is what it is. So that's my 2 cents on it. But it's very rare that an alleged rapist admits to what they do. I mean, do you guys know any rapists who's ever admitted to?
Nope.
I mean, they still saying they're guilty. They still say they're innocent when they got DNA.
Yeah, so I just found some stuff. So he's saying that this is part of Me Too, but originally she filed a lawsuit back or tried to file charges against him in 2017. So here it is. Singer Melissa Schumann filed a lawsuit against Nick Carter on April 11th, accusing the Backstreet Boy of sexual assault and battery. The suit claims he used his role, status, and power as a well-known singer to gain access to groom, manipulate, exploit, and sexually assault Schumann, per Rolling Stone. Schumann was part of the girl group Dream and said that she was 18 when Carter allegedly raped her at a Santa Monica apartment in 2003. Schumann first publicly accused Carter of sexually assault in November 2017, writing in a blog post, he was relentless, refusing to take my nose for an answer, and that he may have had a hand in sabotaging my career with the manager they shared. Carter, who first met Schumann while filming the made-for-TV movie The Hollow, denied allegations shortly thereafter. Schumann then filed a police report with the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office in February 2018, though authorities declined to pursue the case, saying that the statute of limitations had expired. And Carter's attorney called the new suit a PR stunt. So that's where we're at. And that's where we're at to say that she's trying to capitalize off of Me Too, when this still goes back to predates the Me Too movement stuff. So
there's just some right there. There's some, we're going to say, dishonesty on his part, trying to lump them up together when she did it, when her filing predates the Me Too movement.
Yeah.
I'm curious to know why would someone allegedly try to accuse someone of sexual assault, rape, molestation?
Don't ask that question. Don't ask that question. You're about to ask the wrong question.
What? Well, let me say this. Because I want to answer that question.
Go ahead.
So some people do make false allegations, but that is a very small percentage. It's very, very small percentage. Some people have mental illness. Some people want attention. Some people want to get back at somebody. So I'm not going to say that false allegations don't happen. There's proof that there's some false allegations. But again, that's a very small percentage of the people that come forward. As a victim of child molestation and also rape, I remember when I was in the police station as a child being interrogated about what happened to me. And I have to tell you that being molested I felt disgusted. I had disgusting feelings. I hated it. I was, very traumatized and hurt by it. But I can actually say that when I went to the police station and, my mom took me and everything, and they were they call it interviewing, but it really was traumatizing. And so I want, let me say this for those who may be triggered by this. This is something that you should not listen to, and you should always do self-care. So if, you were molested and this is a trigger for you, or you were raped, this was a trigger for you, I definitely suggest you bow out from this, bow out from listening. I just want to respect people who have, who could be triggered. But I remember that they asked me to describe his penis. And I remember that one of the officers kind of had doubt because of the way I described it. Cause, I had never really seen, a penis. You know what I mean? Like, I just never really had, until my father tried to rape me. And I think, to be honest with you, well, I know now, I was so confused. Because when I was an adult and I finally, had a consensual sex, I remember thinking maybe, I actually started to doubt myself because my first partner's penis looked different, right? But it wasn't, but what it was, and I really didn't like to, because of my experience, I really didn't like to look at it, right? So what happened is that one time I looked down after the person had put on a condom, and I realized it clicked that my father had put on a condom. You get what I'm saying? So I thought a penis for a long time looked like, like a, with the little tip out of it. I mean, I kind of laughed. But what I'm saying is, one of the officers, I think, got it. Cause, you look at people, sometimes they look perplexed, and other times, like a light comes on. And I think that when I left the room, one of the, I'm sure they had a conversation. And I'm not saying they didn't believe me, but cause he just kept on, and I think he asked me, did he put on a condom? And I didn't even know at the time what that was. So again, it's very traumatizing. And I know that afterwards, when I was actually raped at gunpoint, I did not go to the police. I did not go to the police. I had to go to the hospital, but I did not go to the police, and they just thought I was a battered woman, and I didn't even tell them I was raped because I just wanted that to be the end. And I didn't want to go back to the police. So when I hear stories like this, again, I wasn't there. I don't know. I just know what happens to me. And I do know that a very small percentage of alleged victims do make up stories. And I also know within that percentage that there's some that has actually happened but they've been coerced to plead guilty for perjury or lying about a crime because the police didn't believe them. And there are documented cases of that too. So again, I know why I know it happens, but it's very rare. And I think people try to inflate it more than what it is. Cause don't nobody want to report that crime. I'm telling you right now.
Yeah, I was thinking there's a few things. People always talk about that, and that's a big thing in the military. People always talk about that in the military, where that girl made it up. Most of those people
Are not making it.
They find a very, very small percentage of people that are reporting to go through that, to report, to find the courage to report.
Yeah.
Or not making it up, because nobody wants to relive that trauma. Nobody wants to have to be questioned, to have to deal with that trauma, because what happens is a lot of times you victimize the victim, you re-victimize the victim. You go there and you sit there and you start questioning and you start badgering the victim as to what caused you to make them do that. When there's nothing that caused that victim to get raped. And that's too often that's the rhetoric that happens. Why did you dress like what? Why did you entice that person to cause you to rape them? Why did you lead them on? All that stuff. And that's too often the conversation that happens. And there are a handful of people out there that make shit up, but very few of these cases there are actually, and even we watched this thing where these women were being put in jail. They didn't make up the lies, but they were being put in jail because the cops didn't want to prosecute for whatever reason, but they were being falsely imprisoned, but they had proof that they were being raped, but they were falsely accused and falsely accused of reporting a crime. But the cops didn't want to follow through with, they didn't believe them. So it's out there. It's just horrible. So, and this is like the third rape allegation that Nick Carter has. So there's another one. I was just reading on Vulture that he has a third rape allegation. So yeah, who knows? Like, he raped another girl or being sued when she was 15. So it's out there.
A peek behind the controversial photo shoot with Miley Cyrus. Our next segment delves into the intriguing world of celebrity news. And today we're shining the spotlight on former Hannah Montana star Miley Cyrus. So if you're ready, let's uncover the story behind a controversial photo shoot that recently resurfaced. For those who might have missed it, back in 2008, when Miley Cyrus was just 15, there was a rather noteworthy picture of her holding a sheet over her chest, revealing the skin on her back. The photograph stirred up quite a big conversation, and Miley herself recently hopped on TikTok to share some surprising behind-the-scene details that we're excited to dive into. Disney, known for catering to younger audience, was too pleased with the image, and Miley subsequently issued an apology to her fans, expressing that she had disappointed them. This incident did cause a bit of a stir, given her role as a teen idol at the time. However, things took a surprising turn in 2018 when Miley, not a bit older and perhaps more empowered, revisited the same photo. In a Twitter post, she shared the picture once again, emphasizing that it was a decade old and well signaling that she wasn't feeling apologetic about it anymore. How do you think this shift is Miley's attitude towards that controversial photo reflects the broader changes we've seen in her public image over the years?
I just want to say that I think I commend Miley, first of all, for showing the world that she's not sorry, because from my understanding, Disney issued a policy that she disappointed her fans. And I can tell it was probably forced by Disney, because Disney's known for catching a younger audience, like you said, Mom. And I've been looking up so many cases of what was going on behind Disney Channel, and it took Miley the courage to speak up about this, and it took everyone to show them that it's just art. She's not sorry for showing art. And you put your thought.
I think Miley Cyrus is a very talented actress and also singer, artist in general. Very beautiful young lady, but she disgusts me. She is a culture vulture. She's all about, she's a culture vulture. She does cultural appropriation. I don't know her. She doesn't know I exist, and that's fine. I think she should, if she likes the picture, she likes the picture. I don't think it's controversial or any sign of courage that a multi-million-dollar Disney star baby, multi-million-dollar successful artist who has nothing to lose by reposting nothing. I don't think it takes courage at all. I just think that she's making whether it's subtle statement or whatever, that she likes the picture and she reposted it. She's really into showing off her body and skin, and she does have a great figure. And Disney was a lot of times my understanding is that Disney likes more of us, especially with their younger stars and starlets, that they like a cliquey, clean image. And so maybe that picture for 15 was a little bit risque. But again, it's her picture. She can do what she wants to. Again, she disgusts me overall, and, more power to her.
And
I rather not.
Huh?
I said I'd rather not comment, but I agree with a lot of things you just said, E.
Uncle Ruben?
Yeah, it's a picture that she took when she was 15 that she reposted 10 years later or whatever it was. It doesn't take courage, man. It's just, she's already basically been naked, swinging from a wrecking ball. So what courage does it take to repost a picture and saying, oh my God, I like the picture? Like, she's already fucking been everywhere else. So, like, it's what it is, man. Like, she could do whatever else she wants to do. And more power to her. That's Miley Cyrus for you. But yeah, too bad she's not still in her wannabe hip hop days,
No, don't.
She went back to her country phase, right? Which phase she in now? Where the social goes?
She's an artist. She can be in whatever. She can dibble and dabble and be in whatever genre she wants to be. More powerful.
Michael made it, right?
I don't have to like her or enjoy her. But there's millions. What do I matter in the scheme of things? Millions of people love her. Millions of people love her. So
Mike Will made it. He must have liked it.
Mike Will made it.
That ain't none of my business. Ain't none of my business and none of my concern.
It's none of my concern either. Oh, so are we going to move on? Because I think we've killed Miley Cyrus.
Yeah.
Dead horse.
Yeah. Even Uncle already.
We did not imply anything that anything happened. So don't take anything that we say seriously.
Oh, she discussed me. Take that serious.
Take that seriously, but don't imply that we said anything happened. Please don't imply that.
Yeah.
Up next, we are shining a spotlight on actress Florence Pugh. Let's explore her recent revelations about her role in Oppenheimer. For those of you who might not be up to speed, Florence Pugh portrayed the character of Jean Tatlock, a medical student who eventually became a psychiatrist in the film Oppenheimer. There's an interesting twist to this tale, so let's dive in. What's intriguing here is that despite having what some might call a small role in the film, Florence Pugh didn't seem to mind. She revealed to MTV UK that the director actually apologized to her about her role size. She kindly told him that he needn't apologize at all. It seemed like she had a unique perspective on that matter, considering Florence Pugh's response to the director's apology. How do you think her attitude towards her role in Oppenheimer might influence the way other actors approach their roles, particularly when they're not substantial in terms of screen time?
Mom?
I wish it was my role.
Yeah, I think, yeah.
That's my role, honey. I'll take her. Ooh.
That's right.
Yeah. I just want to say that my understanding is that most actors and actresses are struggling. Even ones that we know their names and all that, it's hard for them to get roles. So I've seen many an actor in smaller roles throughout the years and then had a leading role and then drop down to a supporting role or a small role. So, or what we call small role, but let's take this less screen time. I think that for the majority of actors and actresses is that they appreciate any role, to be truthful with you. I think that's the story for most of them. You may have a few, and I'm not saying that I know this, but I'm giving some examples of somebody who, may be a force to reckon with. Let's say, like maybe a Tom Cruise might choose not to, have a small role, because he's a leading man. But, he might even take a small role. I don't know. I'm just giving you an example. But I've seen, like we just watched Platoon and we saw Johnny Depp, have a small role in that movie, Forrest Whitaker. Exactly. William Dafoe. Well, he was one of the leads, I think.
Yeah, he was a lead. Tom Berenger was a lead.
Yeah. And, if I think about movies that I watch, there's a lot of people that may not be household names, but they're consistently working actors and we don't know their name, like Pascal. He's the Mandalorian now for Star Wars.
Oh, yeah, Pedro Pascal, yeah. He's acting in everything now.
And he's in a lot of things now, but, he was, what was this, The Last of Us? He was the lead.
Yeah.
But for that, I remember him in a supporting role in The Equalizer. And then there was another role that he played that was really small. I can't think of the movie right now. So, I think it's very
Look at Samuel L. Jackson, the hardest working man in show business, was in every movie you could think of in the 90s, like every single movie you could ever imagine. You say, oh, there's Samuel L. Jackson. If there was a movie in the 90s, he was in it. Yeah. And now he pick and choose now, but he chose every role. He took every role. He's a crackhead in Jungle Fever or whatever that movie was.
Yeah. Him and Hallie.
Yeah. But
If I think if like there's like something that's called a cameo, people would like chose to like have a stand role, and most of them are like cameos. And I don't think Florence Pugh was a cameo. She was created as one of the main characters, and I didn't
we're
want.
not talking about cameos here. We're talking about roles. I'm talking.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. But I know, but let me rephrase a little bit before the over. I think I think for Florence Pugh, she was created as the main character, or maybe one of the main characters at least. And I think for that role, I've been doing research about this. If you haven't watched the movie, I highly recommend skipping to whatever time skip you wanted to skip. But there was like this one part where Jean, who was played by Florence Pugh, died, and I think that explains the small role.
All right.
There's was it Viola Davis? She won an Oscar or got an Oscar nomination or whatever she was like on screen for, what's that movie that she turned in
No, she turned her son. The nun was trying to prove that a priest was inappropriate with boys.
Yeah.
And
queen for
one of the boys was her son, yeah.
Yeah. And she wasn't on the screen very long.
No. Yeah, she wasn't at all. But it was powerful.
She won an Oscar.
Yeah, that was powerful scene.
Yeah. So we know small rules. That's what we're saying, Jawan. We're not talking.
I know.
So that's what we're saying. It's like, and even Tom Cruise was in a movie called Magnolia. He took a small role. If you've never seen Magnolia, that's a small role. I think it's Paul Thomas Anderson created this movie. The same guy did Boogie Nights and some others. He was like a talk show host, eccentric talk show host. That was a smaller role for him. So it happens.
Yeah. It happens. It is what it is. One of these different movies, right?
Right. And again, I mean, there's some movies that I can think offhand that they only have 2 actors in, or, limited characters in. But most movies, there's a lot of characters and there's a lot of roles. And to be able to get a role, however many lines, I mean, sometimes those roles, if people don't even get to say anything, but they're happy that they're in a movie. So, again, I think most actors and actresses are, of course, hopefully their goal is, I don't know what their individual goals are, but if you're a working actor, actress, they're golden, even if it's not the biggest roles.
Yeah, that's what I agree with you, Eve, is people are just happy to work because a lot of times they're
right. So, up next, we have Carol G and Tiesto are being sued for copyright infringement related to their dance pop hit, Don't Be Shy. Renee Narete's legal team has raised concerns that the song bears resemblance to something different, or algo diferente in Spanish. So fortunately, we can't play snippets of the song due to copyright restrictions, but if you're curious to hear the differences, we'll provide a link in the video in the description below. The lawyers behind the lawsuit have asserted that the melody of the song sound identical, in a significant claim that could have some serious implications. In light of the copyright infringement lawsuit faced by Karol G and Tiesto, how do you think artists can balance the fine line between drawing inspiration from existing works or inadvertently crossing into infringement territory? First, I'm not aware of them getting inspiration from it. And I do believe that artists and creators can actually have the same ideal, or they can work a sound where it sounds like. Do people infringe on other people's artistry? 100%. Do I know if this happened or not? I do not know. But I just want to make it clear that we don't know if they listened to the song, if they've ever heard the song. I have no clue. but I do know of instances where artists have come up with something that's very similar to one another or an ideal, and they had no idea that somebody else had that ideal. And then there's also situations where, artists they hear something and there might be some copying going on, or how Juwan said it, is inspiration. So we did take the time to listen to both songs, and they did sound very similar to me.
Mm-hmm.
I can't speak to, there's parts of it, not the whole thing, but just parts of it that were very similar to me.
Right.
But I don't know if they were a dead ringer, but they did sound very similar.
Yeah. And let's make one thing clear. When it comes to people using a sample of a song from the original song, I'm not a lawyer, so I can't really explain who's right or who's wrong. But I do know, if you're here's the thing, if you're sampling a song, right? You want, I don't know the exact story of it, but I think Uncle Ruben mentioned it in an episode before last season. I think from my understanding was paid the person who created the original song. I don't know, but all I'm saying is when you people sample music for some reason. They just want to make it fun, and people do covers of the song for a charity single.
Right. But I think that not most samples, but a lot of samples that we see in play, the artists have actually got, a release to be able to utilize those samples, or the artist has been paid. And then, of course,
they've been paid.
Yeah, they've been paid. And when they do things without that release and working out a deal, Diddy is going to be paying Sting for the rest of Sting's life. I forgot what the amount is, and I don't want to exaggerate, but I think allegedly it's something like $5,000 a day.
Yeah, that's ridiculous how much you had to pay.
Yeah, he has to pay Sting $5,000 a day for the rest of Sting's life. So basically, Sting could lose all his money and he's still set for life. Because P. Diddy got to pay him.
$5,000. Biz Markie got sued crazy because he didn't clear a sample.
Yeah.
De La Soul's first couple albums couldn't be released on streaming platforms for years because the record company did a shitty job at clearing all the samples. And what they mean by clearing all the samples were paying all the artists that they sampled to make the album, make the songs. Now, with this song, we listened to both of them and the guy's playing a flute or whatever, and the rhythm of the tune sounds just like her singing whatever she's saying, Carol G is saying. So it sounds vaguely familiar. And I was telling Eve, I was like, it does seem like you can be inspired or you can get a tune stuck in your head and then not knowingly bring it on and make a song and not know where it came from. You can not knowingly use that song and be like, oh, I don't know where that came from. It just, because that happens all the time. You can think, oh, that's original to me and I know where it came from. But this seems kind of familiar. I heard both of them and you're like, man, that sounds way too familiar to say that they weren't inspired by Algo de Frente or something different. So, that flute playing and then her saying, what's her song?
Don't Be Shy.
Don't Be Shy. Sounds a lot kind of similar to me, but I'm not a judge and I'm not the one having to make a decision. So,
man, one of the docs.
I personally thought they probably copied, but I do understand too how you could be inspired and how it could just be in your head, even if the comedian. You kind of hear similar jokes. People have a similar, ideas. I didn't hear these two songs.
jokes.
Oh yeah, they do. They do
Well,
still
that's,
too.
yeah.
But sometimes,
Yeah.
oh yeah, they definitely still. But sometimes you think alike, and the same stuff going on in the world, and we all hit the same shit. As far as this, I haven't heard the songs, but the way y'all talk about it sound like they copy to me. I'ma just say it. That's all I have to say.
That's your whole 2 cents, 5 cents, 7 cents, 8 cents, 9 cents, 10 cents, 11 cents, and you get whatever the podcast you want to include.
Yeah. Don't be cussing at your mama.
I'm used to it.
Well,
First,
read.
his first words, he didn't talk until he was, I don't remember how about, Jawan didn't talk until he was like,
Busy rewinding a movie and playing with the light switch.
and baby, he cuss, and I used to be thankful to hear it, just as long as he's saying something, as long as you communicate. She said,
I remember I graduated high school. Benny, what do you expect?
what?
I said, I thought that I was 18 years old.
No, you was cussing before you was 18.
Okay.
Okay,
Well, I didn't cut.
I'm gonna call Betty Jean. That's what I'm about to do.
Good. Mom, take us a break.
Okay. We'll be taking a short break to stretch our legs, grab a sip of water, and maybe even groove to a favorite tune. We'll be back in just a moment, so don't wander off too far. While we're on this mission, I need to charge my phone. If you've missed any part of the day, can y'all see?
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm going to start over.
Okay.
We'll be taking a short break to stretch our legs, grab a sip of water, and maybe even groove to a favorite tune. We'll be back in just a moment, so don't wander off too far. While we're on this brief intermission, if you've missed any parts of today's episode, don't worry. You can always catch up by rewinding the playback or visiting our podcast archives on your favorite streaming platform. So hang tight, catch your breath, and get ready for the second half of our revetting. What's that word?
Preventing.
I'm sorry. Riveting conversation. Riveting. Yes.
Yes.
I'm so sorry. So I'll pause and I'll read that over. Hang tight, catch your breath, and get ready for the second half of our riveting conversation. We'll be right back after this short break. I had to come over here because my phone is
From dying.
okay. Oh, I forgot my paper. Hold on.
UNPRFESSINAL. What does that spell, Eve?
I don't know. I wasn't paying attention to your crazy ass.
Renaissance.
Oh, yeah. What about it? Tell us about your night at the concert.
Okay. So first of all, I was at work and I was mentioning that I wanted to go. And my friend Jen, she wanted to go too, so we ended up going together. And it was amazing. I think even just going in, standing in line with the fans, the diehard Beehive fans, that alone was a show before Beyonce even came out. Like just to be in the midst of some true
Beehive Beyonce fans who knew every single word, every single concept. They knew everything. Everybody showed up in silver. I never sat down. I wore heels like a fool. And I had a couple of margaritas, so I was numb in the feet. And your adrenaline and everything. I was so hyped. But the next day, I felt like Shaquille O'Neal had been tap dancing on my body. It was back to life, back to reality. And Joanna's talking about my eyelash. I made a post. When I woke up, I had my eyelash was stuck on my forehead, so I just made a quick post. And it was cute. Overall, I think Beyonce is pregnant, but that's just me. But she was being very careful. She put on an incredible show, but her moves were very classy, very sassy, very sexy, very strategically done, but carefully so. And something in my spirit, she's glowing, she looks so pretty. And it's just something about her. I think she's pregnant. And I might be wrong, and I don't want the beehives to get mad at me if they hear this, but she did. She seemed like she was just being a little careful. But she didn't miss a beat, and her dancers went hard in the paint. Blue Ivy was really, really good. And I just enjoyed everything. Overall, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was just the vibe. I remember to mute myself when she said, "Look around, everybody on mute." I remember to mute. And it was good. I wish I could have went last night on her birthday, especially when Diana Ross came out. I probably would have passed out.
And Kendrick Lamar came out too, didn't he?
If there's a cure for this, I don't want it. I would have passed out. Diana Ross? Wow. Absolutely amazing. What did you say, Ruben?
And Kendrick Lamar came out too.
Kendrick Lamar. She had everybody. We didn't get a pre-show in the Bay. But of course, it was her birthday. So Tabitha Brown was in the building. Hella people. It was just amazing. It was absolutely crazy. That's all I got to say about it. When y'all going? September what?
21st.
Yeah. Well, Eve, pay attention to her stomach and the.
Damn, if Jay-Z's sperm don't swing up that canal. She pregnant.
I think it's a beautiful thing because look at the kind of baby she
I
bringing.
get you, but I don't care. I love Beyonce. She pregnant, good for her. She not good for her.
I thought it was beautiful. Calm down.
Yeah, I don't care. I don't know. I don't like stuff like that.
Why?
Because I think it's rude and I think it's intrusive.
What is?
When people speculate on women's bodies.
Oh, I didn't mean it like that. I didn't want you to.
I know you didn't, but that's how I know. I know you, so I know your intent, but I'm just telling you why I don't like stuff like that.
Okay, well, don't do it because I didn't mean you to. I don't want you to. Definitely don't want you to do that.
No,
I'm excited, and I love them as a couple. My favorite concert was On the Run because they were together, and they are pretty much one of my favorite couples. And
yeah, I'm excited about going to Beyonce. I'm so excited. I don't know what to do. I think I'm just getting stressed out because I just can't find an outfit.
Oh, you need a silver.
Yeah, well, I'm not finding silver in 2X.
It's so much silver. If Lunel had on silver.
Lunel is making 6 figures on
OnlyFans.
On where? OnlyFans. And I don't have no sandpaper. I don't have no sandpaper right now to take care of these feet, and and I don't have no sandpaper to get
Wear
these
some
feet
comfortable shoes.
on, and I don't feel like bending over to paint these toes right now. So, I'm on a budget and I'm okay with my budget, but it's hard for me if I see when you got OnlyFans and they paying you like throwing coins at your way,
Lunel wore Crocs.
can have an outfit made. Shit.
Lunel wore silver Crocs. But if I was you, if I was to be able to dress you, I would put you in some silver shorts
No shorts.
and a long, like with some cute tights.
Mm.
Or some jean shorts with silver in them, but one of them
No shorts.
like a kimono,
Mm.
like a silver kimono.
Mm.
That'll be cute on you.
Mm.
And if you don't finish braiding your hair, I would do like a cute silver wrap or a silver baseball cowboy hat, a silver cowboy hat with the little braids that you got hanging, just in case
Or
you
a
don't
silver
finish.
grill.
A silver what?
A silver grill. Like the gold teeth. Mm-hmm.
Maybe a bottom grill, but not top and bottom. It was some people painted up like aliens, alien superstars. They showed up and showed out.
Just like you.
Yep, and I think the funnest time I had was waiting for her to come on stage and kicking it with the fans. JoJo, clean up your mess.
Hey, nephew.
Your auntie said hi. Auntie Eve. He said hi. You sound just like Jocelyn Dodson when you said that. Mm-hmm. Hey, nephew.
Uncle Ruben, let's get to the JoJo story.
All right, so I guess we're gonna finish up with Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner news. Joe Jonas files for divorce from Sophie Turner, says their marriage is irretrievably broken. So he filed for divorce from his wife, Sony actor Sophie Turner, on Tuesday, saying their marriage is irretrievably broken. It was filed in Miami-Dade County in Florida, where they sold their home for $15 million. It says it's in the best interest of their two children that he and Turner have shared parental responsibility, and that Jonas and Turner did not immediately respond to requests for comment. But as I read earlier, that he was mad that she was acting like a 23-year-old.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. That was one of the reasons why he filed for divorce. So, and he's filing to uphold the prenup that they signed initially, so that she can't get any of his Jonas money. So, they got two children, so hopefully they can work it out.
Hopefully, but overall,
I mean, when you want young ass, you get young minds.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. He's 34.
I hope she's okay. I hope she's not hurt by this, and if she is hurt by it, I hope she all the healing she needs and to move forward with her life. Because Sophie Turner, she is a beautiful, beautiful young woman, and there's plenty of people who would appreciate her if she wants to be appreciated.
Like I told you before, I think she was tired of standing over her man.
I'm not about to play with you.
I told you that last time, remember?
Mm-hmm.
but that's neither here nor there.
I'm about to play with you.
He got tired of looking up to his wife.
All I can say is, I
Pass me
just
the presents.
wish him the best.
He got tired of looking up to her, saying, "Hey, baby, what we gonna have for dinner?"
Mom, your dog's
I think that's funny. He should have dated me.
Oh my! Oh,
Where's Jawan going?
I think Jawan has had enough of us.
All right then.
So
What time is it? Time to sign off?
it's
Yeah,
time to
what's
sign
next?
off.
Is that it?
That brings us to the end of another delightful episode of the Bubble Chat. We hope you've enjoyed our wild discussions, the laughter, us talking about these wild topics, man. And thank you for spending time with us. Whether
And I'm
you're on
gonna
your
do
morning commute,
better starting next
taking a
time.
leisurely stroll, or simply relaxing at home.
Your skin is
We hope you share your thoughts with us on these topics. You know, it helps us gauge where we can go with the future podcast. We're on the right track. It gives us an idea, gives us feedback. We like to hear from you. If something resonate with you, let us know in the comments below. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button because we like our subscribers. Wherever you get your podcast from, and we're on all major platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. We're on YouTube if you like to watch us. That way you'll never miss a wonderful episode of the Bubble Chat. Until next time, keep those conversations flowing and embrace the curiosity that fuels our exploration. And thank you for being a part of the Bubble Chat community.
And I on mute.
Bye, guys.
Bye.